today's professional women's group meeting. My name is Gloria Padilla, and I am the Workforce Development Director, and I take care of the professional women's group. And I would like to welcome all of you. I'm so glad that you're able to make it today. And Amber, if we could put the slideshow on to get our mission statement, please. And I am going to introduce to you our ambassador, Iman. Iman, would you like to kick us off?
Absolutely. Good evening, ladies. It's so nice to see so many ladies here. So, are you ready for the mission? The PWG comes together to network, encourage, support, and inspire each other to thrive in the workplace and in life. We are committed to creating a welcoming environment where we refrain from judgment. We treat each other with dignity and mutual respect. We are open to the possibilities and ready to have fun.
And next we have our ambassador, Irina. Irina, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Ah, wonderful. Look how pretty you look.
Thank you. Remind me again, are we just doing the introductions or the breakout rooms?
Breakout rooms, yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry?
Yes, the breakout room.
Okay.
Our little breakout room, the question?
So the question, well, I thought we were doing the breakout separate, but I guess I can ask everybody.
Yes.
So I guess for the breakout room question, we're going to be doing what's one thing that people misunderstand about you. Basically, how do you come across as a first impression to others? And lots of times it can be wrong. Speaking from my own experience.
Yes, so now Amara is going to break us out into breakout rooms, and we are going to discuss it, and we'll come back in about 7 to 10 minutes.
Good.
As we're waiting for everyone to come back from the breakout room, did anyone notice a pattern? Anyone want to share and get yourselves off mute and share a little bit?
I can share.
Awesome. Hi, Tara.
Hi. Hi, everybody. So we had many people in our room, and it took us a while to talk about the question, and like full transparency, I was like, well, this question is really hard to answer because I don't know how other people see me or what they're misunderstanding, right? And then Christy, who was in my room, who I got to meet today, I made some new friends. She's the one who said, well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think that sometimes people might kind of judge me as, and I don't remember her language. Christy, I want you to say it. You're on here. Say what you said, because I don't want to get it wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, I was
put you on the spot.
yeah, I said, well, I don't know, maybe, I'm kind of quiet. Sometimes I'm kind of in my mind just working or doing things, and I'm not always being like an extrovert. And I think sometimes people might say, oh, you're kind of snobby or something. And I'm like, I'm just like, like I like everybody. I'm not like I don't know.
That's what you said. Yes, that's what she said. And it clicked in my brain, because then I was like, yeah, all of a sudden, then I was like, wait, I do remember, like, I feel like I'm misunderstood or kind of stereotyped in a way. So I think that people look at me, or I know that they look at me, and they, think they think that I've had an easy life, or that, they make kind of assumptions upon the way that I look, and not knowing my background or my criminal history or some of the challenges that I have with my daughter, or substance abuse, federal incarceration, those kinds of things. Like, it hasn't been easy, right? And so just because we think we know what somebody looks like or qualify the way that they look, kind of the same way with Christy, right? People are like, oh, well, she's snobby. It's kind of the same thing. And I was like, oh, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's, yes, like, really good question.
Right. And it lets us know that, we meet people and we're kind of hardwired to make assumptions on people, very quickly within a matter of seconds. Right. And so it's nice to bring awareness that when you meet someone and you start making assumptions, it's stories you're telling yourself about that person that may have nothing at all to do with that person, right? So something to remember in your interactions with people as you're getting to know them, or people that perhaps you already know and have maybe made some assumptions that are very, very wrong about them, right? So something to keep in mind in our
Gloria, can I just share
Yes.
something really quick? I was
Sure.
lucky to be in a team where I knew most of them. So when they say what people misunderstood about them, like, huh? No, I know you, and I interacted with that person. And then one of the ladies said something that was very important, where she said, oh, this is what they misunderstood about me. However, I need to work on it. And I'm like, is it really us who need to work on it? Or is it the people who misunderstood things about us? They need to take time to really get to know us. So, and I think that's the difference we need to know. It's not us who need to work on certain things because someone is assuming or judging us. It's other people who needs to, to get to know us.
Right. And maybe there's a little bit of both, right? Understanding how we are coming across, if for those of us who are a little bit on the shyer side, or maybe giving an appearance of something, to understand that that's how people are viewing us, and maybe just modifying a little bit, even saying it out loud. You're going to find that I'm a little reserved, but that doesn't mean I'm not open for friendship, right? Or something like that. Because it's important to give that communication a little bit back and forth, right? So good. Well, good. I'm glad that was a good exercise.
Can I add a little bit?
Sure.
So I wanted to kind of piggyback on that question statement, that even as ambassadors, we are a pretty small team here, but at the same time, I'm fairly new compared to the rest of the ambassadors. I'm fairly new here. I've only joined in July of 2017. So it took me some time to get to know each and one of the ambassadors, like Iman and Kathy and Kara. And yes, at first we had to kind of figure out the personalities and get comfortable with each other. And yeah, now we're a really, really amazing team. But at first, of course, you kind of have to mold yourself to each person you're working with, and vice versa.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for sharing, everyone. And Iman, would you like to proceed and introduce our guest speakers?
Absolutely. And now the moment you have all been waiting for. I would like to welcome our guest speaker for the evening, team from Equitable Financial, top things we need to know about benefits. Please help me welcome them.
Hi, good evening. Thanks so much for letting us join you this evening. We have 3 members of the team. I'll introduce our team, and our format for this evening will be, we'll have Cicely talk a little bit about our organization and her journey as an advisor and now as a manager. Justin will talk a little bit about what it takes to become a financial professional, licenses, professional designations to get into this career. And I'll talk a little bit about the company and how we help people. And I'll give some tips and tricks about around changing jobs. So that'll be the financial literacy topic for today. So I'll introduce Cicely. She'll kick us off. Before that, just a quick note about Equitable Advisors. Equitable, you may have heard of, 160-year-old wealth management firm. We help clients with investments, retirement planning, college savings, life insurance, and annuities. We have offices all over the country. There's 4,000 advisors and offices all over the United States. And we are in the wealth management space for individuals and small businesses. We help teachers, police officers, and firefighters. We have a team dedicated specifically for not-for-profits, educators, police and fire. And we have teams dedicated specifically for businesses, but we really like to work with individuals. A little bit about Equitable. I'm really excited to introduce Cicely. She is a manager in our San Francisco office. She started with the company. She's celebrating her 5-year anniversary with the company this month. So that's great. And just after 2.5
Okay, did we lose Steve?
I was gonna say, is
Yeah.
it frozen
I'm
or
not
are we
sure.
frozen?
Something happened there. I'm not sure what happened.
You've
I
got,
think
you've got some
he was-
Wi-Fi issues.
Yeah.
I'm happy to share my own bio.
Come on,
Why don't-
Cicely, what you got?
All right. So I think what he was getting at was that I was promoted to management after 2.5 years in the company. And I think that was pretty much it. Now I will talk about kind of my journey, and hopefully you get something out of this, or it inspires you or something along the road. So I actually volunteer for the Dress for Success organization in San Francisco, California, where I live. That's where I'm located. I grew up in the Central Valley of California, so big agricultural community. My parents decided to start a cheese company in the garage, which was very fun. I had a lot of cheese in my life for still a long time. But in them building their business, I got to see a lot of kind of the financial aspects of building a business. And I said, whoa, they need a lot of help from a lot of different people. And it's easy to take a misstep or to end up in too much debt or something like that. And so they had the benefit of having a lot of good people giving them advice and a great financial advisor. So that was sort of an inspiration for me early on. My parents were also, really good savers and kind of the best people I know. So I was very inspired and got the entrepreneurial spirit from them. When I went to college, I went down away from the ag community to the beach at Santa Barbara. At Santa Barbara, I studied economics, which doesn't really lend itself into a specific career path unless I wanted to go to a heck of a lot more school. I was going to have to figure something out and bend it a little bit. I realized a couple things. that one, I really liked talking to people, and two, I liked solving problems. I was like, okay, how do those two marry together and build a career? I had, interned in Washington, D.C. for, a political group, decided politics wasn't for me. I had interned at a tech company, Adobe Systems, and realized, the tech life wasn't for me. Didn't love the noise canceling headphones and typing out emails all day and not really interacting with people. So I ended up actually going to a career fair, like I'm sure many of you have, and I sort of met my, match at the career fair. I met my equitable manager, and he said, I hear you. I hear all the things you like to do, and I think this career path is perfect for you. And I said, are you sure? It seems like all financial advisors are like 50-year-old white dudes with extensive networks. And he said, no, I think you'll do great. And so there were some tests required. I got through my tests, graduated a little bit early. And at 21 years old, I jumped into the industry and said, I'm a financial advisor. Who wants to manage your money with me? And didn't have a lot of confidence. So I looked around my office, realized I was the only female advisor and the youngest by at least 3 years in the office. And I went into my branch manager's office month one and said, hey, I was really excited about this, but I think maybe I'm not cut out for this. I don't have the market. I don't have the confidence. I'm not, a white male who has the confidence built in. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so I went in and had that conversation, and he said, give it 6 months. I think you have what it takes. I think, you don't have that confidence yet, and you don't have the commitment level up yet. So I want you to commit 100%. And if you commit 100%, give it 6 months, I think you'll see a change. But if after 6 months of giving 100%, fine, go find another career path. And I said, okay, I think I can do anything for 6 months. And I put in 100% effort. I joined that specialized group that Steve had mentioned earlier, the one that works with educators. It's called the Retirement Benefits Group. So all day, every day, I was talking to teachers and saying, hey, here's what you got for retirement. Let's start saving for the future, because I wanted them to have money when they were old. And so it was a pretty easy conversation to have, because not a lot of people have saved for retirement. And working with teachers, it was kind of a nice thing for somebody who didn't feel fully competent yet, because teachers are very, very forgiving. So I did pretty well at that. After 6 months, I had done really, really well and ended up the #1 person on my 25-person team, which again was all men. So was feeling pretty confident, and along the way I gained some allies. I gained mentors. I gained, my branch manager was the first one to believe me. Oh, thank you for the congratulations. Mm-hmm. And, I got more and more advocates and more people I was excited to continue to work with, and went to conferences, women's summits, began to see, oh yeah, my company does prioritize this, and there are other women who are doing great at this. We had diversity summits where I was able to meet even more groups of people. And in 2018, after 2-ish years as an advisor, they had invited me into management. And I, went back to that first thing. I was like, oh no, I'm not qualified to do that. I barely got it figured out for myself. And I ended up getting talked into it by the same guy who talked me into not quitting. And I'm proud to say that in an industry that's only 18% female, I've hired 50% women on my team. Thank you.
Mhm.
Feeling really good. This month is one of the best months I've ever had. And, you know, I ended up joining a program within our company called the Ideal Program, which champions diversity and inclusion. So all of the people currently in my pipeline to come onto my team are 100% diverse. So I'm really proud of that. I'll leave it at that. And if you have any questions or any, clarifications needed, I'm happy to share. Thanks, everyone.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Cicely. Did we lose Steve, or is he back on the call?
No, I'm back on. I turned the camera off. Hopefully that helps with the internet connection. That was great. I just jumped off for just a quick second. I heard your entire presentation. That was amazing. Your story's so great. I've heard it before, but it's really awesome every time I hear it. Thanks so much for sharing. We do have 10 minutes saved at the end for what we thought would be kind of an open panel, open discussion. So please, if you do have any questions, jot them down, because we do want to have that open panel there at the end. I'll jump in with a couple of tips and some financial literacy around changing jobs. So if you have a pen and paper, I might give you an idea or two that you can take with you into your next job. When someone changes jobs, it's one of these I just moments that's so important to work with a financial professional. We say, I just had a baby, I just got married, I just got divorced, I just got my first job, I just bought a house, any of these I just moments, it's time to take a quick peek at your finances and see how things are doing. When someone leaves a job and they know that they're leaving the paycheck, that's obvious, but there's a lot of benefits and other forms of compensation that you may have left behind as well. Everybody thinks of medical, vision, and dental insurance. I leave my job, what am I going to do for insurance? There's so much more in terms of benefits beyond just your paycheck and just medical, vision, dental. For example, the previous job may have offered some group benefits like group life insurance or group disability insurance. You may have had a health savings plan or a flex spending account. These are all benefits that may or may not be transferable. You might be able to take some of those benefits with you. Or you might be able to take the value of some of those benefits with you. You may have had retirement plans like a 401k or a 403b or a pension plan. And when you leave one employer, it's what's called a qualifying event. And you get a lot of options and flexibility when you have a qualifying event. For example, if you leave a job and you have some money in a retirement plan and you run into a hard time, you might be able to take money out of that retirement plan. And there might be fewer penalties or taxes because you have that qualifying event. You might be able to move the money into another account that you might have some more flexibility and more control over. You may have left some other benefits behind at that previous job, maybe what we call non-cash compensation. Maybe your company gave you company stock or stock options or something like that. That was a form of compensation, but it didn't show up in your paycheck. Instead, they put it in some special account that you have to find out about. When someone leaves a job, it's important to reach back out to the benefits folks at that employer and ask lots of questions. Do I have any of these accounts? Does any of this sound familiar? Is there a website or a phone number I can call to find out if I'm entitled to any of these benefits? We are shocked still every day when we meet with clients at how much money, how many benefits are left behind at previous employers. When someone leaves, because you just don't know to ask. So please jot down some of these things: retirement plans, pensions, 401ks, health savings plans, flex spending accounts, company stock or stock options. And if you think of any previous employers that you work for, maybe it's worth giving a call over to the HR department and asking if you were entitled to any of these benefits, and if there's a way that you can call an 800 number or access a website to find out. Now, when you get that next job, you get over to your next employer. Really important that you maximize your benefits package at the next employer. Some of these benefits are going to be provided for you. You'll be automatically enrolled in a group life insurance or group disability. Some things you don't have to do anything. You're just automatically enrolled in these plans, and they're great. You should understand how they work so that you can use them to your advantage if you need to. Some of these benefits might be optional benefits, like saving into a health savings plan or a flex spending account, or saving into a retirement plan like a 401k. Some organizations will automatically enroll you in your 401k, and they might take some money out of your paycheck, 3%, 6%, something like that automatically. But some plans you have to take action. You have to opt into the plan. In those examples, you should ask, are there any matching opportunities from the organization? Some organizations will match, meaning as long as you save money for retirement, the company will put money into your retirement plan for you as well. And it's important to take advantage of those free dollars, because if you don't put any money in, then you don't get the match either. Some organizations will do profit sharing or stock or other kinds of fancy ways to contribute to your retirement plan. So it's always a good idea to ask for a description of your benefits package. When you're enrolling in the retirement plan at your job, you might have two choices: Roth versus traditional. And this could be a little bit confusing. Roth and traditional are both retirement plans. They're both held in a 401k. They have the same exact investments, and you can make contributions from your paycheck. So they look very similar. Roth contributions will go in after taxes. So you pay taxes through your paycheck, and then the money goes into the account after taxes. It grows and grows and grows over time. And when you take the money out of the account, you don't have to pay any taxes anymore because you already paid them up front. A traditional 401k or pre-tax 401k is the exact opposite. Money comes from your paycheck before taxes. That's great. You don't have to pay taxes on the money. It helps you to save a little bit more than you think, because you don't have to worry about that tax burden up front, and the money will grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And then when you take the money out, you'll pay taxes on it later. There are some pros and cons to Roth versus traditional. If we have a crystal ball and we know what your tax situation will be when you retire, then we can tell you exactly which one would be better, a Roth or a traditional. We don't have a crystal ball. So sometimes it's a good practice to contribute a little bit to both. Contribute a little bit to your traditional 401k, contribute a little bit to your Roth. And this comes back to the idea of a match from your employer. If your employer does a match, they'll do the match on the pre-tax side. So make sure that your contributions to that pre-tax side are at least as much as the match. So I did all the boring technical benefits things for a job changer. I hope that you're able to jot down an idea or two. And I really hope, and if this happens, please send me an email with a fun story, that you call over to a previous employer and find out that you have lots and lots and lots of money in an account with your name on it that they owe you, that you forgot from some previous jobs. So I hope that happens for everybody on the call. So now I'll turn it over to Justin. Justin handles all of our recruiting for our region, and he's going to talk a little bit about a career in financial services, licensing, and what it takes to become a financial professional, in case anyone on this call is interested or knows somebody who would be interested in pursuing a career in financial services. And again, we'll all hang on for a few minutes at the end for a little panel discussion and questions. Justin, thanks.
Perfect. Thanks, Steve. Cicely, Steve, both of you, thanks for just sharing. I also just wanted to bring up a couple interesting things as I was kind of going back before I dive into the onboarding side. Equitable is really kind of committed to the philanthropy side and supporting philanthropy. They're committed to diversity and inclusion. And I was looking at some data, and it's pretty cool. But since 2009, Equitable has awarded over $350,000 to Dress for Success clients. So it's pretty cool. We have a big commitment to Dress for Success and all that. And then also I was kind of looking at some of our history of our company, and it's pretty cool. The first policy or insurance policy written by our company for a woman was back in 1843. And really kind of the first female advisor was back in 1896. So we have a really, our history goes back, especially with women, pretty deep. And here we all are all the way back to 2021. And, our women now really represent about 22% of our board of directors. And there's just a huge sort of throttle forward to recruit women and really kind of highlight diversity and inclusion. And it's pretty cool to hear, Cicely, your story and just kind of how you're building out a team and that women have such an impact in our industry. So with that being said, Steve, too, also thank you for what you shared. And just, I'm pretty sure I'm going to call all my past employers right after I get off this call and see if there's any cash hanging around that I can take advantage of. But anyway, thanks for sharing. I handle our onboarding. You may be on this call and you may be saying, hey, this is really cool. I never really thought about the world of finance and financial planning as a career for myself. And maybe you thought, gosh, I don't have a degree, or I have a degree, but it's in nothing to do with finance and all that type of thing. And the good news is that you don't necessarily have to have that background. We have a lot of folks who come from many different industries, many different backgrounds. We have folks that come from high level executive financial kind of degrees and that type of background. And then we have people that come straight out of college into the industry. Some folks don't even have a college degree and they start into our business, and it's really great. So I don't want you to count yourself out on the call because you think, gosh, I'm unqualified or I don't have this credential. I think there's a little bit of a stigma that, you got to have a degree in finance and an MBA and all these things. And yes, those are great things down the line. But getting into this business, it's not necessarily necessary. So really at a high level, if it's something you're interested in, really the first step is just kind of thinking through the idea of, do you like the idea of business development? Do you like the idea of helping people? What Cicely had said is kind of what inspired her, is this idea that people were struggling and they needed help. And I think that's what inspires a lot of us. Everyone has a penny to their name and needs help in the planning world. And so, the idea is that a lot of people getting in our industry have to ask themselves, am I committed to solving problems and helping people with finance? And if you look around our world and you kind of see all this stuff, you realize pretty quickly that everyone needs help. Another kind of interesting fact is sometimes we think, oh, well, it's tied to the stock market and how the economy is doing and all these things. I don't know if I want to get into a business where, if the stock market's not doing good or, the economy is starting to tank, it could be kind of risky. But actually, it's quite the contrary. People need help more than ever when things aren't going well in the economy. And so when things are going well in the economy and the stock market is raging, is where people tend to be like, I got this, I don't need an advisor, I don't need help. But then when things are struggling, people realize, gosh, I need to figure out how to run my personal account, my business, or my, whatever it may be. So kind of interesting to think about that. But really the first place to start with Equitable Advisor is check out our website. There's a whole lot of information on there about who we are, what we do. And Cicely talked a little bit about our retirement benefits group. There's really two sides of the business. One is sort of the traditional path of financial planning. One is our retirement benefits group. And they both kind of have different facets on what you do. One has a more targeted market. The other one looks a little bit different as far as business development goes. So thinking through kind of in your mind what might work well for you is the first place to start. And that usually starts with a conversation with one of our district managers. So we have quite a few district managers here in the Denver metro area. And really after this call, we're gonna send out a bunch of information about us, but also our contact information. If you're on this call and you say, hey, I think getting into this industry is interesting to me, it would start with a call to us or an email. And what we'd love to do is sit down with you, whether it's through a Skype or a Zoom call or face-to-face, whatever that looks like, and we can kind of map out maybe what a career would look like with Equitable Advisors. So it would start there. One thing I want to always highlight and tell people getting into the industry is it's not a fast process. It's not something where we just hire you and we go, great, it's Friday, Monday, you're going to be a financial advisor. It takes time. We do require that you get essentially 3 different licenses. One is your life and health. And that license takes anywhere from about 4 to 6 weeks to get. We provide the study materials for that exam, and we give you a book and we say, hey, study, nose to the grind. In 4 to 6 weeks, you'll take a test on life and health. And that just allows you to do, those types of insurance and state insurance licensing. So that's the first license. The next one is your Series 7 exam, which is a little bit harder of an exam. It takes a little bit longer. Some folks do it in 6 weeks. Some people do it in 10 weeks. It just kind of depends on how fast and good of a studier you are. But again, we provide the materials. We kind of walk you through that process of how that works. And you nose to the grind, get that license. And then from there, we have one last license that we have you get, which is Series 66. So before I get to that, Series 7 is general security. So it allows you to do like stock market stuff, trades with the stock market. It's just called your general securities license. And then lastly, we have the Series 66, which allows you to, charge a fee for financial advising and do fee-based advising. And it's also reciprocity. So the cool thing about our business is you're not really confined to just working in one area. You can do financial planning across the country if you have your Series 66. So it allows you to do financial planning really across the gamut. So if you have friends or family or businesses or whatever across the country and you want to be their helper, then you can do that. So those 3 licenses take a little bit of time. After you get those licenses, we kind of put you through a process where it's basically called pre-employment. And we kind of do some training a lot like doctors do, where we sort of, you kind of establish your residency and we do some coaching and you meet with clients and you start to do a little bit of business. And then once you've done a little bit of business, then you sign a contract with us. Long term, our business is really cool because you have total control over who you work with. You have total control over your income. You can do a lot of business. You can kick back and not do very much business. It's tied a lot to sort of commissions. And so it's not a salaried role. We do have a salary option, which is also cool for folks that are getting started in the industry and say, hey, I don't know that I can go to like a fully commissioned job right now. Like I don't have the means to do that. And so we do have like a salary option where you can kind of take a little bit of a salary to kind of help pay the bills and get you launched into the business. But long-term, it's much more commission based. And it's so cool that you can kind of have control over how much business you do, who you work with, how you grow your team. And as you move along, you kind of get more specialized in what you do and you find your niche for helping people. Like Cicely was saying, she kind of started out in the retirement benefits group and helping teachers and folks that are on the state pension plan. And then she kind of, changed her business model a little bit and maybe started reaching out to some other people. And it's just really cool how you can find, what works best for you. We have folks that are incredibly talented and gifted, and all they do is help churches and pastors with financial advising because they have a passion for working with churches and pastors, and they go, there's a unique financial setting for them and they need help because when a pastor retires, they don't always have a retirement because they've been working for a church. And so help a lot of pastors. We have some advisors that all they do is work with people on the state pension plan. We have some advisors that all they do is estate planning or tax advising, those types of things. Or if you go, hey, I like it all, I can do holistic planning, and it's interesting because you can learn a lot of different things. So that's kind of sort of the onboarding side at a high level. It is a process. You have to pass a background check, all the basic things that you would have to do at most any company. But you have to get through those exams. And like I said, we do training a lot like doctors in the sense that you're establishing a residency, and you learn a lot of things through those exams, but you really don't know what you're doing until you do it. And so that's when we kind of pair you up with a district manager who's going to mentor and coach you and kind of walk you through the process of how you do certain aspects of the business. How do you do business development? How do you meet with clients? How do you write certain policies? All this stuff. And they kind of walk you through that process until you feel comfortable to kind of be on your own and do your thing. So very interesting kind of process that it's a little bit extensive. Like I would say, what I would highlight through it is that if this is something you want to do too, you can start to study for the exams and do these things while you're doing another job. So we have a lot of folks that, hey, they're changing careers and doing that. And they're saying, hey, I can't quite make the financial leap into this right at the second, but I want to start studying so that when I can get all my exams and everything all lined up, and then when I'm ready to make the jump from my current job into the world of financial planning, we can make that happen and work with you on that process. So that's all I have to say on the onboarding side. We'll be sending out some information with all of our contact information, but I handle all of our recruiting and onboarding here in the Rocky Mountain region, and I'm happy to have a conversation to get more granular about our business model, how we onboard people, the exams, any of those things. It can get kind of granular and complicated, and I just want to be able to be here to help you through that process if you're sitting on this call and saying, yeah, I think this could be a career for me. So with that being said, thanks for everyone being on the call. I'm going to kick it back to you, Steve, and we'll go from there.
That's awesome. Thanks, Justin. That was great. Gloria, do we have just a couple of minutes? Can we take a couple of questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So if anyone has questions for Cicely on her journey in her career, any questions for me about financial planning, or questions about investments, retirements, insurance, things like that, or questions for Justin about a potential career for yourself or someone that you know in financial services.
I have a question for you, for all three of you probably. So what would you suggest, since PWG has a very, very diverse group of women, and a lot of us were not born in the United States, and English is not our first language. So what would you suggest to all the women that might be interested today, including myself, to how would we prepare? If we're interested, how would we prepare? Because these licenses are very hard. They're difficult. I tried multiple times, could not pass a state bar exam, or not bar exam, state board exam. And I still can't figure out what is it that's, what is it that I can't pass? And it's frustrating, it's time consuming. You spend hours studying and over, and it's not happening. So what would your suggestion be?
Yeah,
That's
just a little bit about our training, our partnership with training, and yeah.
Yep. No, that's a really great question. And you're dead on. There's a lot of people who struggle with the exams. I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh yeah, it's an easy process to get through these exams. We really like to highlight ourselves that we work with a company called Training Consultants, and they are a fantastic company. It's all online studying, and they have modules that you work through, and milestones that you make along the way, and tests that you take along the way, that really essentially almost guarantee that if you work your way through this, you will pass the exam. And so we pride ourselves in paying a lot of money and having this extensive training program when it comes to these exams and testing. So that's kind of the first thing I would say, is that if you're looking to get into this and you go, gosh, I've just struggled to get through exams, know that we have a really robust testing program now that walks you through that process and the modules very clearly. Another layer to that is that we do offer sort of one-on-one training that comes with our program that will walk you through things that you're struggling with. As you take exams, it will become very apparent to us because it's all tracked online, and we can see exactly what you're struggling with, and you can take extra coaching around just those areas, and you can meet with an instructor in the industry around those areas. And so it's really kind of cool because you have that personalized coaching on those things. And then really a last sort of effort in regards to passing these exams is we do have some in-person, because of COVID, it's been a little bit harder to do some of that stuff, but it's starting to open up more. But we do have like in-person classes where you can go in and take a class for 2 or 3 days, and it's just all they do is inundate you with the things that you need to know for the exam, and it's helpful along the way. So with that being said, I would say it's pretty hard for you not to pass those exams if you're diligent about studying and committed to the program that we kind of put you on. You know, if you're having a hard time studying and you're not putting in the time, that's one thing, but I would, you know, we have a pretty surefire guarantee that if you don't pass the exam, we'll refund the money, and they pretty much guarantee that you'll pass this thing. So I understand your struggle. We have people that don't pass it a lot, and we help them through this process, and, you know, it just takes a lot of discipline and time, and I wish I had a better answer, but I do know that we have a pretty robust study schedule and program that we work through. It's called Training Consultants, and it's pretty strong as far as pass rates and those things go. So hopefully that answers your question.
What about
also, go ahead.
Sir, do you offer in the modules, do you offer the format of questions? Because once you go to the state board, the questions are not even remotely close to how they are in the module. They're completely worded different. The structure of the question is different. It can be confusing for somebody like myself who's very analytical. My mind just takes me somewhere else, and I get stuck, and then I run out of time, and then I fail.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we like I said, with our testing program, they kind of put together these exams and sort of the markers and modules along the way in a way that really mirrors what you're going to see on the test. Their goal is that it's not like we're trying to trick you here. It's pretty similar to that. The other thing is it's timed, and you can see exactly how much time you're taking. And so that's helpful too, because as you're kind of taking these exams, you can see where you're at with time and not finishing on time. And if that's an issue, then you can be aware of it and start to kind of do things on yourself, with yourself personally, to say, okay, how can I speed up this process and kind of get through it? But the cool thing is that you will know. You shouldn't be on the exam and go, oh gosh, I ran out of time and I had no idea that would be for me. It will be very apparent to you that you're struggling with the time issue before you even get to the exam.
Great. Justin, there's some questions up in the chat. I'll take a couple of those here, and then we can get back to some live questions as well. Does every employer offer a Roth plan? No, most employers will offer a retirement plan, and in some areas it's mandatory. They have to offer a retirement plan. And Roth is very, very popular, highly likely that if you have a retirement plan, there's a Roth, but it's not mandatory. It is possible that your employer has only pre-tax contributions available. If my employer matches up to $1,500 in my 401k, should I match that or do what I can afford? Well, of course, always do what you can afford. We'll never make a recommendation to a client to hurt yourself financially or to put something else off. You always want to make sure that you have a nice balance in everything that you're doing. If you can contribute up to the match, it's always a good idea, because imagine 100% rate of return. You get to double your money right away because the employer is going to match you, plus whatever that can grow to in the future. So always stick to your budget. Don't create a plan that's going to hurt you or make you uncomfortable in your obligations. But once you have things dialed in, try to contribute as much as you can to maximize the match. If I don't have licenses, can I get a job in financial services, banking, insurance, etc.? You don't have to have experience. You don't have to have a degree in finance to get a job in financial services. The career as a financial advisor and in management that we've been talking about tonight does require some licenses, but our organization employs people around the whole country in IT, technology, in marketing, and operations, and compliance. And a lot of those jobs do not require licenses or any experience. It's a really good question. Is there a cost of the training and classes? Yes, but we pay for it through a reimbursement. So you do pay for it. You have to study, you have to pass the tests. But once you pass the tests and you come on board with us, we reimburse you. So we give you the money back for that. Okay. No, the tests are going to be in English. There's not an opportunity to take the test in a different language. Although I'll tell you that these tests, even no matter what language you speak, it seems like they're speaking a different language. You're learning all new terminology. It's a lot of math. Gosh, even if you were an English major, you might look at this thing and say, what on earth are they talking about? As far as and I think Justin may have answered this question on personalized tips. So if the practice tests that you'll take online will give you feedback, okay, this area, you're strong in this area, but maybe not that area. And then you can speak one-on-one with an instructor who will help you in that area specifically. So if you're having trouble or confusion in an area, they will prescribe a solution for that, and you can talk to somebody one-on-one about that. So I hope that answers that question. Good. Okay, I think we got through some of the questions in the chat. Let's open it back up to some live questions. For Cicely about her career, financial tips, or more questions about a career in financial services.
Okay, we have time for one more. So would anyone like to get themselves off mute and ask?
I mean,
No?
I'll do it if nobody else will.
Okay.
So I've been dying to ask Cicely a question, so here we go. It's my turn. Okay, what I want to know is, because I'm super impressed by your stories. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. And this is, I just really want to know this, and it kind of is going to make no sense, but I really legitimately want to know this. What is the best part of your day? So you're in a career, you love it, you're successful. I might have creeped up on you on Facebook, like, that's what I do. But I want to know what the best part of your day is.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I'm a morning person, so I tend to, if I'm like really excited about a meeting, I want to do it like when I have the highest energy. And I think ultimately being an advisor, a lot of the reason that we go into it, and even the reason we go into management, is to get that, endorphin boost from actually helping somebody and making a light bulb go on and, making an impact on their life. So I love that. I love any time I'm in a meeting with a client and they say, oh my gosh, it's so clear to me now, or I get it now, thank you. So that's the best part of my day. I pretty much do get it every day, which is good. I get lots of endorphin boosts. Thank you.
Great. Well, thanks so much for having us. Thanks for letting us visit. Justin has shared some information and some flyers and contact info. And I believe some emails will go around maybe later on this evening with that information. And we'd love to hear from everyone on this call at some point with stories, with more questions, with questions about maybe a potential career for yourself or for someone that you know. Just this has been wonderful. Thanks so much for letting us spend some time with you.
Yes. Oh,
I was just going to chime in and say thanks as well. It's a pleasure to be a part of this, and we appreciate you all just getting on and listening to what we have to say, and we feel blessed. So thanks.
well, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing this information. And I think, there's a theme here that we don't get anywhere without someone helping us, right? And it's so important to take when someone offers that mentorship to you and makes themselves available to take advantage of that. And also when we're in the position to provide that mentorship, to also do it, right? To help each other succeed. And yes, please, ladies, if you know anyone who can benefit from this program, or wants to get into this field, feel free to share all of the information that you heard here. Tomorrow, I will be sending an email that will include some slides to go with this presentation, and also everyone's contact information. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And next, we're going to have our announcements. So, Amara, if you can put our announcements up, please. Woohoo! All right. Okay, so this coming Thursday is our monthly group meditation with Kelly Arnold and yoga with Sheila. So if you haven't done the yoga with Sheila, because I know that as soon as we hear yoga, we tense up and we think of all of these, very difficult poses. That's not it at all. It is very gentle, very, just about stretching and getting in touch with our bodies, nothing funky, just, a good relaxation yoga after having the meditation. So it happens this Thursday. Tomorrow, I will be sending the RSVP from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. All right. And it is shopping time. Woohoo! So I know that we've been waiting for the sale, right, ladies? Yes, it is sale time. And we have something very, very different this time because of COVID, and we're trying to figure out how to best serve all of you. So listen up carefully. You will earn a $20 gift certificate to our sale today. Right? That sale is happening on April 16th from 5 to 9 p.m. and on April 17th from 10 to 2 p.m. Your coupon will be honored on April 17th. You are, of course, welcome to come on the 16th, but the coupon will be good on the 17th. Yes? And if we can have the next slide, please. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's how things are going to work out. So if you attended the October meeting, I still have the list of everyone who attended. That PWG, you also received a $20. So if you attended in October and you attended today, you get $40 for the sale. And if you've never been to our sale, $40 gets you a lot. So it's going to be really good. Now, you also have the opportunity to earn some coupons if you attend some of the workshops that we have, right? So on April 17th, when you come to redeem your coupons for the PWG meeting, you will also be allowed to choose from the sale items to redeem your coupons that you have. So we're going to be redeeming the March 4th yoga and meditation, which is 2 items. The Activate workshop, which is 1, tonight's PWG meeting, the April yoga and meditation items, and if we have another workshop in between there, that one will also be included. So you're going to be shopping a lot, right? For all of you who have been attending. And so you're going to get your items from the sale items, which is pretty fabulous to have that opportunity. And we have great things in that sale. All right, so the photo release. So a lot of you ladies took advantage last month of our lady that came in, our volunteer photographer that took pictures for LinkedIn for a lot of you. And we are asking if you are willing to let us use your picture. We include sometimes pictures, for our newsletters or sometimes when we send a thank you to someone who has been very generous to us, we send a thank you and we send pictures of our ladies because they want to see us, right? They want to see all of us. So if you took a picture last month and are willing to sign the photo release, please do so and turn it back into us. I know that Amara sent an email, but we didn't really get a letter response. On April 17th, we will also have the actual photo release here, so you can sign it here as well. But it really helps us out to be able to show people that we really do serve women here. Right?
Gloria, do you think that release could be electronic or digital with a signature? Because the only option that I saw was to actually print it and sign it physically and then return it or scan it.
So at this moment, we are working. Oh, I think Amara might be testing that. And we just
Sorry
got
about that.
on the screen there. It actually looks pretty artistic there. But we're working on that and we'll let you know if we can do that. But that's an excellent question. Thank you. All right, so more yoga opportunities. So Core Power Yoga is really loving us, and I know they offered an opportunity for instructors if you wanted to become a yoga instructor, but this is an opportunity for a beginner Core Power Yoga class. It will be available via Zoom, and it will be April 15th at 6 p.m. Please let Amara know if you would like to attend. So this one is going to be handled by Amara. Amara's email is thedenver@dressforsuccess.org. Okay, so you can email her now if you're interested in taking that class. All right, we have a surprise. So thank you to Equitable Financial. They are sponsoring a $20 grocery store card for each one of you tonight. So that's a little extra for you. So woohoo! And you will be able to pick it up on April 17th when you come. So that's going to be a great day. So thank you so much. Okay, so now I would like to hand it over to our ambassadors. We talk a lot about our ambassadors, but because of COVID, you haven't really seen who they are and where they come from. So I am going to turn it to our beautiful Iman to start off. Iman, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. So my name is Iman Benjeloun, and I am one of the Dress for Success ambassadors. Would you like me to tell you how I was introduced to Dress for Success, Gloria? Or that's
Sure.
Sure. So I was introduced to Dress for Success about 4.5 years ago. I contacted Dress for Success to help my students. And what I'm so proud of that some of my students are here today. So hello to all of them. And the more I learned about the organization, the more I wanted to get involved. So Dress for Success not only helped me personally, because as an immigrant, can you tell from my accent? So I am from Morocco, Casablanca, just in case you're wondering where the accent came from. I always have this issue of like, do I belong? Do I fit in? Do I feel welcome? And that's what Dress for Success did for me. But they also provided me with the necessary tools to help my community. So in 2018, and I want to share this part, and then I will let other ambassadors share their parts, because I'm so proud of this one. In 2018, I created a community action project called Sisterhood in the Neighborhood. So my mission was to empower immigrant women to become financially independent. And we won first place at Dress for Success International Competition. And I had the opportunity to travel to the Bahamas, but was so beautiful that lots of the PWG women helped me participate in this. And it just felt like we all did it as a team. So it's really not me who did it or created it. It took all of us. And as you all know, that's as Dress for Success, like the benefits or the opportunities are just so many of them. I participated in the Capital One education classes, and I wish all of you will take advantage of those classes. My story was featured in USA Today. Is that correct, Gloria? So I just learned so much about buying a house, how to learn about your credit score, identity theft. I was like, oh, now I know why they stole my information, because I wasn't doing all this. So what I'm trying to say is, as you know, PWG women, we get so many opportunities, but as an ambassador, you are not only getting opportunities, but you also helping other women. So, and I think it's just very powerful. And that's all I have to say. And I will go to Irina. I just like to pick on Irina for some reason.
Yes, so hi everyone again. My name is Irina Gorbin, and I am from Eastern Europe, from Belarus. Have been here for some time now, over 20 years, but I still have my little bit of an accent left, just like Iman, you know, it's kind of right there. And so I joined Dress for Success in July of 2017. I was looking for a new career direction, and I was referred to the office, and I wanted to see what this was all about, because my first impression, oh, they're just gonna give me clothes. That was all I was thinking. And but no, that was just the beginning. I kind of started participating with the PWG. Then I started volunteering, and then I received an email saying, do you want to be the next leader? And at the time I was like, sure, why not? I had no idea what it was about. The next thing I know, Gloria called me on March 22nd of 2019 and said, well, it looks like you're going for vacation. I'm like, where are you sending me? And she said, you're going to Bahamas because you were selected to do the next community action project for 2019. That was right after Iman's, right? So I said, okay, so what do I need to do? So I go to the 4-day summit, then meet the CEO, Joy Gordon, and other very powerful women. And then I go to Gloria's office. I said, so what do I do? What do you want me to do? And she said, just do something that will benefit women in the community. And you have 8 months to do so. So I had until January of 2020 to complete my project. And she said, you have this much of budget that they're allocating to you, and you can do as much as you want or as little as you want. No pressure, you know, you just have Iman that just took first place last year, no pressure. So I'm like, okay. So then I decided to create workshops for girls, 18-year-old girls, ladies, to educate them on student loans and credit cards. And then I started thinking. Next thing you know, my project exploded to 17 different topics. I had 30 different businesses get involved in my project. We had 2 rounds of workshops, 2 graduations, and then also finished it with a weight loss challenge at the end. So my project also won. I haven't gotten back to get my trophy just because of COVID, but I'm waiting to hear back from them. But I've taken numerous trainings that were also offered through Dress for Success. I've taken the Capital One training. I've taken the retail leadership training. And oh, there's my picture. That's so cool. Yeah, so it's been nothing but a really, really good experience, and I'm not leaving this place anytime soon. I'm here for as long as they exist. So yes. Oh, we are gonna have an application soon for the next ambassador. So that's gonna be in the email and the newsletter coming soon, right, Gloria? I think you're on mute though.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're interested in becoming an ambassador, be on the lookout. And it's definitely, if you want to make a difference, if you believe in your talent and making a difference for the community, then definitely this is a place for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
And
Kara,
I'm going to take it to Kara and Kathy. I don't know how they're going to split it or.
Kara, yeah, go ahead.
You guys must be calling on me because I'm sitting over here holding back tears. So we're gonna see if we can get through this, because watching them, those two like got to me. I came to Dress for Success, and much like Iman, you know, struggled with fitting in and wondering, you know, if I had marketable skills and do I fit in with people? But my circumstances were a little bit different, the same but different, right? So I wasn't an immigrant, but I had just been released from federal prison after being incarcerated for several years. And prior to that, I struggled with substance abuse for almost 20 years. And so to say that I, you know, wondered if I fit into the world was like an understatement. I just didn't think people liked me, right? That was the story that I told myself in the head. You know, the stories that we tell ourselves in our heads is what our real problem is, by the way, or at least what my real problem is. I don't know what your real problem is, but my real problem is the stories I tell myself. So I got heavily involved with Dress for Success right after my release from incarceration, and you know, continue to go to meetings and get involved. The first breakfast that I spoke at, I had been out of incarceration for about a year, and just started to get really, really involved with the program. Saw that that I wanted to do more. The opportunity to do a community action project came up, and I applied. And prior to that, I had been started running because of a running program that I learned about through Dress for Success, and was able to really implement some healthy changes in my life because of that. And then I got involved with the Community Action Project and was partnered with my sister, Kathy Sullivan. And Dress for Success has provided me with family. Right? Family. You know, through that process of us creating that project together, her husband passed away and my dad passed away in the middle of us trying to do this project, right? And not only did we, you know, make it through, you know, but we won, right? So, and one, you know, winning, don't get me wrong, winning was amazing. I'm competitive like that, so don't let me steer you wrong. Winning was amazing, but it was the ability to really do something that meant something, because I didn't know what I could do, if that makes sense, right? We don't know what we don't know. And I'm not going to try and speak for Kathy right now, but I don't know that either one of us knew what was inside of us, or that we had the capability to actually create a flippin' winning project like that. I know that I didn't have it in me, and I don't think she did either. And just the ability to walk away with that knowing, right? For somebody who believed that I was just a POS, or that I just wasn't worthy, right? And that's what I believed, and that was the story in my head. And so that opportunity to learn something different and tell a different story was massively impactful. I've gotten several jobs through Dress for Success. Like, my literal careers have happened through my connections with Dress for Success. And I think one of the greatest things that I've been able to participate in is being able to teach some career readiness classes back for women who struggle with incarceration. And that's just been hugely impactful. So I want to piggyback on what Irina said. We are opening up ambassador applications, and apply. If you think that you might be a leader and that it's something that you're interested in doing, picture. If you think this is something that that you want, right? It's not easy. It's not easy. There's expectations. We hold each other accountable, but we're also a family, right? We're also a family. My entire life has changed because of the women that are in this program. They literally feel like they're part of my family. And because of my background, I've needed that, right? It's just been absolutely profoundly amazing. So we would love to have you on our team. Please submit your application. This is our shameless plug if you want to be in leadership, because we would love to have you on. And I'm going to pass to Miss Candace.
I don't think she's there. I'll take over.
Let's get
her. Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Kathy Sullivan. I've been with Dress for Success at least 6 years. I came into Dress for Success as a broken wife, depressed, overweight. But in the process, Dress for Success has given me opportunities to be a better person, to be a better wife, be a better mother, and a better friend. Carol and myself has represented Dress for Success at Worldwide, and we created a community action project called Restart Denver, helping women coming out of prison to give them encouraging, just to let them know that we're there for them coming out of prison, just to get a fresh start. In the process, I've lost 135 pounds. We ended up going into Dress for Success, Worldwide, ended up winning the CAP project. And I enjoy being an ambassador for 3 years because Dress for Success gives me opportunity to meet all the great donors that we've had that has really impacted our lives in so many different ways. And I just really would like to thank Gloria and Amber and all the ladies on the panel for encouraging us to be better women and holding us accountable for everything that we've done and what we're about to do in the future. And I just want to welcome anyone that wants to be an ambassador. It's a great project, and it's a wonderful opportunity to meet our donors and to be able to volunteer with great women. And I just want to say thank y'all for allowing me to be an ambassador for 3 years. Come, Kalindi, you're next.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, everyone. It's such a pleasure and honor to be here with you all today. Such inspiring stories. I do not even know where to start now. Well, all I can say is that Dress for Success Denver has had a very positive impact on my life, both professionally and personally. So it was not all hunky-dory in the beginning. I think about 4 or 5 years ago, I was referred to Dress for Success from a domestic violence women's shelter. And I had just run the house that I was living in with my perpetrator, and I had nothing, not even anything to wear for the interview. And that's when I got referred to Dress for Success. I came and I really had no expectation. I was like, I'll be treated like any other person. It's just, it's another nonprofit organization. So I was very broken and very low, and I just walked in. But that day spent at Dress for Success literally changed a lot of things for me. And I would say, like, whatever I'm today is, it really goes back to that day. Starting from there, it's just kept on changing, kept on, making me a better person, getting me where I am today. So I got the job, and then I came back. This time when I came back, I was very positive. Everybody was so welcoming and, so cheerful at the boutique. It just gave me more confidence and made me feel like I was worthy of more than what I thought or what I had been told all this time. So anyways, I got the job. I started receiving those PWG invites, and I was like, I don't think I can fit in. I was still not there, I was still struggling with my confidence and all of that. And I was like, I don't know if I should go or not. Then ultimately, after waiting for a few months, I think Gloria was persistent sending me those emails, or everyone. So I finally made it one day, and oh my God, it was so much fun, so educational, so informative. And I just got hooked to it. And I kept going to PWG meetings, and then I said, I need to do more. What can I do? So I started helping out at the donation day, which is on the second last Saturday, if I'm not wrong. You can come and help with donation. You can sign up, go online, check the dates that we need volunteers to help with the donations. So I started doing that, but all the benefits and goodies and the classes that I was getting from Dress for Success, I was like, I need to do more. So I joined the ambassador group, thanks to all these lovely ladies who accepted my application, and I became part of this smaller community, which is we're very close-knit family, and we really help each other, like to the extent that you'll be like, okay, ladies, let's just take a break. Sometimes Gloria is even, following up, with us on a weekend. I'm like, Gloria, you're off job. So it's amazing how we, come together as this small group, and it has changed so much for me. So I would, again, feel the same, that go ahead, if you think you're there at that point of time that you could apply for being an ambassador, go ahead and do that. We would love to have you on this team. We really need you. We need somebody, hardworking, not just hardworking, also fun-loving group of women who are there to, come forward and help us lead this group. So anyways, now it's been so many years. I joined the PWG, I became an ambassador. Then I'm also on the board, so I could, see from the other side and help in whichever possible way I can. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Lindy, good question for you, or Gloria. Do you know how many spots we have or we're looking to fill for the ambassador? Is it one or a couple or several?
There are several positions. We don't have a cap on it. And we would really like a larger group of women to come in. So if you are interested, and if every time we embark on something new, there's always a little bit of that hesitation, right? And our confidence and, oh, can I do that? Just do it. Just come on. This is a safe place where you can start exercising some of those leadership qualities that you have in there. And let me first of all say, all of you ladies, ambassadors, just did a fabulous, fabulous job. Thank you. For those of you who are watching, more than half of us, and me included, suffer from anxiety and public speaking. And here, look at us, right? And we women can do amazing things when we love and support each other and to carry on. So, this is the product. We can achieve great things when we come together in that sisterhood. And I don't know, Amra, were you able to find that last picture?
Gloria, can I just share something really quick?
Sure.
Something that I never like to speak about because that's just not me. So I do suffer from the worst in anxiety, especially with public speaking. I will do anything for you except speaking in front of people, But because of the ladies that I am part of this team, you ladies, just as of now, you have no idea how many people texted me. Kara been texting me during this entire time, like, hey, you're doing great, you're beautiful. Irina admired my hair. I mean, of course, my hair is beautiful. I'm just kidding. Gloria called me before this started. It just, you ladies don't know the support we go through. Like, I know all these ladies been doing so many amazing things, but you have no idea the struggles we go through. But we just show like, hey, we're strong, we can do it. And I know we all struggle so much, but we have a great support system. And I wish I can see all of you. I think it will complete us to have the strength from each lady. And that's all I have to say.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. And Iman, I'm so sorry. I think we're missing your picture, but we will get a picture out there in the next meeting if we don't find it here. But I do want to honor everyone's time. We're a few minutes up. The next month, our ambassadors will also be open for questions. So if you have any questions about, I think we're having the picture. Oh, yes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. That's Iman accepting her award from Joy Gordon, who is our CEO of Worldwide. So yes, so please, ladies, whenever you hear of these programs that come, take advantage of everything you can. This is a loving group. This is where we try to come together without judging each other, and where we're all learning, including myself and including Amra. We learn from you as well. We don't all know it all, right? So ladies, thank you so very much for being with us tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I miss you. I miss seeing you all in person. Hopefully soon we'll be able to, and I'm in tears now because of all of this.
I know, I'm crying too.
I know. Just have a beautiful, beautiful night and be good to each other. And I'll be sending all of that information off tomorrow. Okay. I'll see you soon.
Thank you for hosting, Iman. You're amazing.